Hello, my name is Richard and today I'm going to talk to you about my new business, Solid Core Software. Now, as you can probably see from my website already, this started when I did a Masters in Computing at Oxford Brookes University. Now, this was done from 2011 until 2012. So the course was basically a conversion course from any unrelated degree, so it was therefore very broad in what was studied. So what I liked best out of it was the Java programming bit, which was is basically programming your normal desktop applications such as Firefox or Microsoft Word, even though of course they're very advanced forms. Also I did Android programming, so what I did in my course was made a Minesweeper-like application which used the phone's native SQL database system to store and retrieve the high scores table, and also for selecting a player as well. Now obviously from an Android phone you can also make widgets as well. So an example, or a common example of a widget is your little clock on your home screen. So you know, when you touch it and drag it across the screen, just like easy really. So that was my Android bit, and also another bit which was good was my dissertation. So this was where I created a PHP web application which was a route finder application for exploring the university's campus. So in more detail, what this application did was allowed you to input where you wanted to go. So you might want to know where the nearest toilet is, or you might want to know where a specific lecture room is. So basically it calculates the shortest route from where you currently are, because this was used via GPS, and it draws this route on the map, and also displays text instructions as well to make it a bit easier for the user. So that was my dissertation, and then my masters talked about. And moving on after that, when I finished my masters, I did a project for a local business IFPL based on the Isle of Wight. So what this was a demonstration for what a typical air flight passenger would go for when booking a flight and doing a flight. So there are 3 stages which I programmed. Now the first one was booking a flight. So this was a simplified version that was to fit on one web page, where the user inputs details like their name, where they want to fly from, where they want to fly to, or whether they want a single or return journey, when they want to fly, if they have any specific meal requirements. So obviously someone that's a vegetarian will not be happy if they're presented with a nice big juicy steak on their plate. So things like that had to be taken into consideration so that everyone is happy on the plane. So when the user submits their details, the web application then puts these details onto a central MySQL database, where the database generates a unique booking ID number for that passenger. So moving on to the second stage of this demonstration is the check-in at the airport. Now this is another web application which is on a tablet, but not actually an Android application itself at the moment. So this web application works where the passenger feeds their booking ID number into this check-in system, and it then looks up on the database whether this booking ID exists. Now if it does exist, it will then see if the passenger has checked in as well. The reason why it checks if it's checked in is to avoid checking in twice. So if the user does attempt to check in again, then they'll know that they checked in the first time. It's sort of letting them know exactly where they stand in the process, and they can be reassured that the check-in thing worked the first time and didn't just say it worked when it didn't. So all this sort of thing has to be taken into account. Now moving on to the third stage was the services on the plane itself. Now not every air flight company will have this on their planes, so don't be surprised if you have not seen this. But what this is where every single passenger has an Android tablet on the back of the seat in front of them. Now what the services thing does is allows allows you to do things like ordering a meal from your seat. So obviously on older planes which don't have this system, you have to wait for the air flight person to come and take your order. Well, this allows you to do it when you want, within a more general time frame. So if you happen to be nodded off to sleep, then you haven't missed the passenger, the air flight attendant going past you. So this is more convenient for you, and you can take longer to order your meal, so you don't have to rush the process. Other services offered are the music, so you can listen to music, you can watch films, and you can play games as well. So if you don't particularly want to look outside and see all the scenery below you, then you can do that instead. So basically you won't get, well, hopefully you won't get bored on the plane. And also another thing which is specific to this Android application is the is booking the hotels as well. So basically it already knows where you're going, so your destination was on the booking system. So basically it displays hotels in the vicinity of where your destination is. So for example, if you are flying to Malaga in Spain, then it will only display those hotels in or around the Malaga area. And so then you can book your hotels as you normally would, but from your seat on the plane itself, which also saves you the hassle of having to find somewhere to do the booking afterwards, after you've landed. So yeah, you don't have to worry about not finding anywhere to do the booking your hotels afterwards. So that was my demonstration talked about, and the last thing I'm going to mention is what I'm doing now. So what I'm doing now is creating a database system for a local charity called Independent Arts, who basically provides art therapy services for their clients. So basically a client is someone who needs these services because it helps improve their quality of life through a different form of communication, which is obviously through art. And so about their system, at the moment they do have a system, but unfortunately it is quite old now and it isn't working as well as it should be. So they do need a new one. And the reason why they're coming to me is because obviously they cannot afford big companies to do it for them. So I'm doing it instead, and it also gives me that extra experience to say I've done a complicated database system. So what this database system entails is basically booking between the clients, the people that receive these services, and the practitioners, the people who provide the services. So in simple terms, how it works is that the practitioner has their availabilities all on the system, and then it allows a client to make a booking for an art therapy service when a suitable practitioner is available. Obviously there are different types of services with this, so different practitioners have different skills and different skill levels, and obviously the clients need different art therapy services. So yeah, that's the database system I've talked about as well. And also to mention that this is also specialised for them, so they only have the things that they need. So the databases are designed for their needs, and also the functionalities are as well, to make it as easy for them as possible. So yeah, that's my Independent Arts database system mentioned as well. So yeah, if you want to know anything else about my business, then you can contact me in one of three ways. The first way is you can obviously go to my website, solidcoresoftware.co.uk, and at the top there's a menu bar and contact is near to the right hand side of it. So you click on there and fill out the form. Or if you don't like forms, you can email me as well, richard@solidcoresoftware.co.uk. And also if you prefer speaking to someone, then you can phone as well, which is 07891 140170. Thank you for listening.